Why do we celebrate Christmas? Why do we celebrate Yule? Why do we celebrate the turning of the year? As I'm recording this, the stores out there in the modern world are filling up with all sorts of Christmas stuff. Santa Clauses and decorations and all sorts of Norwegian Christmas food, and it is the time to be jolly, isn't that what they say? And also at the same time, it's this yearly debate about what Christmas really is about. What's the meaning of Christmas? Why do we celebrate Christmas? Christian people will say that we are celebrating the birth of Jesus Christ. And atheists will say that it's just an old celebration going back thousands of years probably. And people like myself, being more connected to my Norse heritage, I will say that, well, I'm celebrating Yule. I believe that nobody owns Christmas. But it's difficult to talk about it because of the words we are using. Now, I say Christmas when I speak English. When I speak Norwegian, I say Yule. When I say Christmas, it implies that it has to do with Christ, right? So I should say Yule. I think that's the correct English word for me. And whatever your reason is for celebrating, I think that's fine. You know, what I don't like is when people claim that they know the true meaning of this particular celebration. Actually, let's move outside because we have some daylight now. Now the Romans, they had of course their infamous celebration Saturnalia on the 25th of December. And that involved eating and a lot of drinking and things like role playing and other things that I probably should not even mention here. But it was on the 25th of December. So again, we are seeing that this time of the year around winter solstice was already being celebrated. So it must have been convenient for the church to decide that the birth of Jesus should be celebrated at that date, now around 24th, 25th of December. Now, if you are offended by that, that's not my intention, but whatever you believe, it's obvious that it was convenient because people were already celebrating. Now my ancestors, the Vikings, or more correctly the Norse, they did not celebrate around that date. They had their Yule. We say in Norwegian today, we don't say Christmas, we say Yule, which is the same word as Old Norse Jul. And we do celebrate not on the 25th, but on the 24th of December. But back then, pre-Christian times, they celebrated Yule under the first full moon after winter solstice. And Yule involved, again, a lot of drinking, a lot of eating. They would typically eat pork meat, and they also did the blot, which was obviously an offering to the Old Norse gods. And traditionally they would also eat horse meat during the Juleblot. And that was outlawed with the introduction of Christianity. Not only the traditional eating of horse meat, but the blot itself. You could be severely punished if you practiced the old customs after the introduction of Christianity here in Norway. So my perception of that is that it was still practiced, but in in secrecy for a long time after the introduction of Christianity. But during Yule, people would visit each other. That being, in January, it meant that you would probably not travel far, because it was difficult and potentially dangerous to travel during winter back in the Viking Age. But you would visit the neighboring farm, friends and family, and people would gather and eat and drink and have a jolly good time, as the English say. and I think that's basically, that's what we do today. So nothing has changed, I guess. Most people in Norway now, they do not really see Yule as a religious holiday, but it's a social gathering. And I think that whatever your reason is for celebrating this time of the year, that's fine, whatever your reason is. So what is your reason for celebrating? Is it a religious thing, or is it only a social thing? Let us know in the comment section. There is room for everyone here on this channel. Yeah, and thank you for watching. I upload videos every Saturday, so do hit that subscribe button, and that way you will be notified, hopefully, when I upload my next video next Saturday. Yeah, we will all be celebrating, I guess, in a few days now. So yeah, okay. Have a wonderful day. I'll see you in the next one. Okay, bye bye.